So now I want to show you something very interesting with this particular section. As you know, I've mentioned to you that it was a parasagittal section, meaning that the slice was done not down the centre, it was done across from the centre. And I've now done another slice, which is in this position here, which is more accurate, and having a look at how thick the hoof wall is and having a look at the sensitive and insensitive lamella. There. Can you see the hoof wall is not thickened like we saw in that other section? And the only reason it was so thick in this particular section is because it was a sagittal section. Can you see how thick that is through there? And yet when we look at the hoof wall at 90-degree angle to like where the circle is, we've actually got the correct width of hoof wall. Now I'm going to show you some beautiful things on this particular sample. Now I'm going to zoom in a bit more, and I'll just remind you where we are. So this is our hoof wall through here. This is the external part of the hoof wall through here, and this is the internal, which we call the non-pigmented layer or the water layer. Here is the white line, and it's yellow. Here is the sole, and we know the white line is the tissue that attaches the sole to the hoof wall. Here we have a very tiny little part of the coffin bone, a very small little bit. But look what's happening here. Look at these beautiful lamella. The white lamella that you're seeing is the insensitive lamella, and these are the projections that are coming off of this layer here. They're actually part of the hoof wall almost, and they don't have a blood or a nerve supply in them. And that's what they are. I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit more for you. Hopefully you get to see that. These red parts that are interspaced between the white parts, that's called the sensitive lamella. And the sensitive lamella is actually grow from a layer of tissue which surrounds the outside of the coffin bone, and that is called the sublamellar dermis. Sub meaning under, lamella, well, we're talking about the lamella, and dermis means a layer of tissue. So a lot of these names that you hear are all derived from the Greek, the Latin, all sorts of historical and ancient languages, and that's where we get most of our medical terms from. And if you know a little bit of Greek or Latin, you can actually work out what they mean. So I'd like to show you the mirror image of this side, and it's going to be very similar, although there is a little bit more coffin bone here. You can just about see the little corner there of the coffin bone coming through, but the same appearance is through here, which is the insensitive and the sensitive lamella, all through that part there.